Let me quickly welcome our guests on the show, Mr. R.K. Upadhyay, senior journalist joining us from Bengaluru. Mr. Upadhyay, good morning.
Good morning.
The political parties in West Bengal would have us believe that fish eating and those fish photo ops would be the biggest issue. But what are you looking at as far as today is concerned? Who has more weightage? Who's going to be racing ahead and finally having that Shandesh at the end of the day?
Well, I think this is going to be a very, very interesting day of elections. I know it's like a circus which keeps coming every 3 months or 6 months, and we have a lot of fun. Of course, it's a great, event for democracy in India, and all set for, I think, about 824 seats to be declared across the 5 states. That is West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Assam, and the Union Territory of Puducherry. This is a very vital round of elections for the opposition India alliance, because I think they have much at stake, much more at stake than the ruling BJP at the center. Because you have, West Bengal, where Mamata Banerjee is fighting to stay in the battle after 3 terms, and she's looking for a 4th term in West Bengal. And then you have Tamil Nadu, where M.K. Stalin is trying to get a 2nd term, which has never happened for DMK in the last 60 years. I mean, he's going to create some record if he's able to retain Tamil Nadu. Because as we know, in Tamil Nadu, it's always been a 2-party which are fighting. That is DMK and the AIDMK. But this time there is a very strong 3rd party headed by Vijay, which is giving a run for the money for these established parties. So I think Tamil Nadu is also very interesting to see that way. And Assam is also going for elections, which everyone has predicted that the BJP will be able to retain power there. And in Kerala, we see that there could be a change. That is what the exit polls are saying, that LDF might be on the way out and UDF might come in, and the Congress might find a toehold once again in Kerala. And overall, I think the Congress has much at stake because it's only in Kerala that they have a chance. And in West Bengal, they have been wiped out last time. They had 0 seats. And it's not looking very good for the India alliance, because you see, West Bengal, they're fighting against each other. You have TMC fighting Congress and also the left parties, and in Kerala also we have Congress fighting against the left parties, whereas they're together in the alliance. And this is a oxymoron that we have lived with, and we have to see how.
But Mr. Upadhyay, during the campaigning, Mamata Banerjee had the likes of Arvind Kejriwal come and campaign for her. At least the opposition alliance was trying to put up a united front.
Well, we all know what is the credibility that Kejriwal carries now, and probably that is not really going to help Mamata Banerjee to a great extent. Mamata is a feisty, leader. I'm sure that she'll be fighting on her own. And don't forget that in the last round as well, that is in 2021, all the exit polls, most of the exit polls had gone wrong. In fact, they had Mamata Banerjee much less number of seats, but she crossed 200 very easily. So that could very well happen this time as well. And one can't rule out Mamata Banerjee's popularity because for 15 years she has ruled with an iron hand. And but this time the problem is that she's facing multiple problems. On the economy going down, unemployment becoming a very big issue, and there is also the question of SIR, which has really struck lightning, I think, on the TMC, because over 10% of the voters have been wiped out of the electoral roll, which election commission found there were either dummy voters or ghost voters. I mean, I think it was a very long delayed exercise conducted by the election commission. The election commission led by Yanesh Kumar deserves to be congratulated, because they have done a job which is very much required. But for more than 20 years, the SIR has not been done. That is a special intensive revision of voters. And you had multiple lakhs and lakhs of people whose names just remained on the voter list, and which would have been misused by the political parties. But I think this time that has not been possible anywhere in all the states where the elections have been held. And I think the West Bengal government, that is TMC, will find it very, very difficult to push through any kind of a dummy votes, and that's a big challenge for her.
Mr. Upadhyay, this is, to dwell a little bit more on what is happening in Bengal. You mentioned about SIR and as to how this will have a big impact. But the fact is the Bharatiya Janata Party is the underdog in Bengal. It is trying to push forth candidates. A lot of them are actually candidates who've broken away from the TMC. The fact that the Bharatiya Janata Party has not been able to grow its own leaders on the ground in Bengal, to what extent do you think it dents the chances of the BJP? Because even through this campaigning this time around as well, it has predominantly relied on leaders from Delhi doing the heavy lifting for them to try and convince the Bengali population to vote for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Well, these kind of challenges BJP has faced, and they're able to, break through new grounds. And we have seen what they did in Odisha just a few months ago. For the first time, they were able to come to power there, unseating someone like, the chief minister who was there for five terms. So that has been, the track record of BJP. And they have a machinery, which works around the clock. And I think every election they prepare themselves very well. And of course, they do push, people from other parties to shore up their ranks. And Suvendu is definitely somebody who was with Mamata Banerjee, and now she's the face of BJP there. So I think it's a big challenge for the BJP because see, in the Lok Sabha elections just about a couple of years ago, they didn't do all that well. Their number of seats went down from 18 to 12, and TMC was able to stage a comeback. So that being the case, it's not going to be very easy. Because TMC has a cadre which can, probably do better than the BJP. So BJP probably doesn't have that kind of a cadre that the TMC has. And but the good thing is that the Election Commission has been able to put together a very good, police force throughout West Bengal to make sure that the elections are free and fair. And we have seen that there has been very little violence in this round of elections compared to earlier elections where scores of people have been killed in violence.
Mr. Upadhyay, hold that thought. The time is 8:25, and it is in a few minutes from now that the EVM boxes will be brought out, and the counting of the votes that have been polled in these EVM machines will, of course, be counted. Shreya, this is a big moment because what is now going to happen here in many ways will dictate politics of Bengal for a long time to come. There are other states as well. There are crucial states such as Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Assam, and also the Union Territory of Puducherry. But at this moment, the focus, of course, is on what many would say is a do-or-die battle for Mamata Banerjee, the street fighter of Indian politics, someone who's fought for so long, and she is an institution in herself, one of the most charismatic leaders who stood out even at the peak of the Modi wave. And it is her fate that is on the line today. MK Stalin in Tamil Nadu could create history because the DMK looks pretty strong. Edappadi Palanisami's AIADMK not as strong as what it would have hoped. Someone like Paneerselvam, someone who was a close confidant who grew under the shadow of J. Jayalalitha. He has broken ranks from the AIADMK and he joined the DMK this February. Very interesting election. The counting of the votes is currently underway. What we are looking at are these early trends and leads in some of these states, but these are still very, very early hours of voting. We'll have to wait and see as to how things unfold. We'll slip into a short break. More updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned to WION.